Okay, so yeah, a lot of people recently have been asking me to do an overview of some of my tracks. Um, I'm going to do an overview for Nightbreed, and to be honest, it's really not that good a track. There's quite a lot of stock sounds in it and that. It was my final major project for college, and I needed to do another track in a couple of days, so I managed to knock this out in about 2 days, so it's not all that. So yeah, basically, I don't really know where to start for this, so I'll just start from the first bar, basically. I've just got it's basically an arpeggiated sound made in albino, and it's just a note going up a semitone and then back down again. And then I've made a pad as well in albino, which is just the root note, which is D. And that's the sort of just a bit of atmospheric for the intro. Like most intros, you need atmospherics. So you do 16 or 32 bars of atmospherics. The beginning of the 17th bar, I bring in a beat. But to make it mixable for a DJ, you need something to mix it into. So I just put a hi-hat, just a simple hi-hat. So when you drop in the vinyl, you can scratch on that point to bring it in. So yeah, I've also got a snippet of the vocal. With a bit of reverb and a load of delay on it. And this basically just sets you up the theme for the main bit. And I've also bounced off a bit of drums, and I've put it into high pass where it comes in here. And if you look at the automation, it's just a high pass filter with the frequency automated downwards. And then on the 17th bar, a bit of sub bass comes in as well. But for the beat as well, the beat's quite irregular. It's basically just a normal drum and bass beat, but instead of doing the first snare, you miss it out and just play the second one, and it kind of gives a halftime feel to it. So I'll show you. And also the kicks are done in a triplet style to give it a bit of flow. So a normal drum and bass beat would just be with this snare on the quarter beat. So if you mute that one, it'd be sorry, yeah, and that's just basic drum and bass beat. So yeah, and that's all I did. And then when it comes in on the 33rd bar, I just put it into a 4/4 beat. Well, it's not 4/4, but you know what I mean. No, I didn't. Sorry, it's further on. It's 64. And also, when you get into more energetic bit like that as well, you also want to put on like a shaker loop and give it a bit more energy. I've also got something else, I can't remember what it was. Nothing apparently. Okay, so yeah. So yeah, for the bass lines, they did take their sweet time to make. the same patch, and I've just kept on copying it out and making different versions. So that one there that comes in is just a quicker LFO version of it. And I've also done another bit where I've put an auto filter on. That little bit. And all that is Logic's auto filter. Maybe it's this bit, sorry, I haven't looked at this track for ages. I can't fucking remember, yeah. Also what I've done with the basses, I've used the frequency splitting technique. So if we look at the first channel, I've sent out to bus 1, 2, 3 and 7. And if we look at 1, 2, 3 and 7, see there I've got just the low bit, and then I've put that in mono at the bottom to keep it central. And then the next bit up is just in normal stereo, and that's sort of a mid-range bit. And then on the high bit, I've put a spread on it, so you get like the low in the center, the middle slightly wider, and the high even wider than that. Also have a bit of auto filter on to give it some movement. And on bus 4, I've got camel fat with a bit of distortion on, and then that's basically what makes up the basses.
Vultures hidden in the dark of the shadows, eyes red, night vision sharper than arrows. Tools in my hand cause I'm paro, prank cause I see many man get hanged from the gallows. Out there man will teeth the wheels off your barrel. Deep things happen when people think shallow. Jailbirds trapped in a cell doing a sparrow. Raggo enough to put a spark in your marrow. Beef dip in a wallet fit take a man's goal. Plan so nippy you won't see where the hands go. Man toast liquor and drink it over man's goals.
And the acapella was just, I found it really hard to get UK hip hop acapellas, but I managed to find a Kalashnikov and Jess one, so I just used that, and it's really fucking hard, like matching up vocals, and that's what took the longest thing out the track. It took about half a day to do, and I had to have a lot of help from my tutors and my brother just stretching it in. Just use flex time for that, and just use, the best thing to do is just use your ear, just forget about where the markers line up, just use your ear until it sounds right. So yeah, and for just polishing off the track at the end, on the master out, I just monitored with a master, a multimeter, and basically on the multimeter, if the pointers fire over to the right, it means your track's in phase. If it's anything past the middle, it means it's out of phase. This will cause you a lot of problems on a mono system, or just a big rig, because they do all that in mono. So just have a look at that the whole time. I've got some stereo effects, which is by Air Windows. I've also got console bus colors, which it doesn't look like anything, but you put that on, it basically with console bus and bus colors, it will put distortion on your track, and then it will bus it and take the distortion off, and what that does, it gives it harmonics and then removes the harmonics, and then somehow that gives the track width. It's beyond my knowledge, but that's basically what I know about it. And then Ozone 4, I've just used basically just the CD master, and I've gone in and just changed a couple of things in there. I didn't like the widening I put a bit more widening on, sorry, a little bit of harmonic exciter, and it does just punch up the track.
Right on top of the lamppost, tramps hold paper bags with a tenant.
Just makes it that much louder and tighter. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, and as I say, for sections, just do everything in 16 or 32 bar segments. So the 32 bar will be the intro, and then you have half of it clean, the second half a beat coming in, and then you might do a 32 or a 64 main bit, with two 32 sections that are slightly split up, and then you want a breakdown section. done there is just put the halftime beat and some of the bass in, and then put in some of the intro elements like the arpeggiated sound, and then after the breakdown you want a second drop. And basically what I've done here, I've just put in that 4/4 beat again. I've put a load of shakers in, a load more percussion, the basses, so you get a full wall with everything in the tune, basically. And it's always good to put a little gap between your sections. It gives it a load of impact. Also put a hat in between, like ducking in and out, which also gives it a bit more energy. And then I probably should have done that twice as long as it was.
Nighttime vultures hidden in the dark of the shadows.
And just dropped it down for the outro, just to a beat in the vocal, and then it trails off.
Put a spark in your marrow. Dip in a wallet for check a man's soul. Plan so nippy you won't see where the hands go. Man toast, liquor and drink it over man's goals. Jankos, perching right on top of the lamppost. Tramps hold paper bags with a tenants. Drunk breaders stumbling home totally redders. Foreign beggars, seat change heavily preggers. Fellas getting wet out for the Avarex levers.
Okay, yeah, basically it's probably been a bit of a shit tutorial. It might be a bit boring. It's hard to really analyse a tune, but yeah. At some point I'll do my Octane tune. It's got like 127 channels, and I'll try and structure a bit more of a tutorial out of it, really. So yeah, I hope I haven't bored you to death for this one, but yeah. Alright, safe, peace.